Once upon a time, in a kingdom far away, there was a lush and mysterious forest known as the Whispering Woods. The forest was so named because the trees were said to whisper secrets to those who were pure of heart. It was a place of wonder and magic, but also of great caution, for it was said that anyone who entered with ill intentions would never find their way out. In this kingdom, there lived a young prince named Alaric. Prince Alaric was known for his kindness and bravery, but also for his sense of adventure. One day, as he was exploring the castle, he stumbled upon a dusty, old map hidden in the library. The map depicted the Whispering Woods and marked a spot deep within the forest with a golden crown. Beneath the crown, in faded script, were the words, "The lost crown of the first king." Intrigued, Alaric took the map to his father, King Eldred. "Father," he said, "what is this crown, and why is it lost?" King Eldred looked at the map with a grave expression. "The crown belongs to our ancestor, the first king of our land. It was said to hold great power, but it was lost many generations ago. Some say it lies hidden deep within the Whispering Woods, protected by ancient magic. Many have tried to find it, but none have returned." Despite the king's warning, Alaric felt a strong pull to find the lost crown. He believed that with the crown, he could bring even greater prosperity to the kingdom. After much thought, King Eldred reluctantly gave his blessing, knowing that his son's determination was unshakable. "But remember, my son," the king warned, "the Whispering Woods tests all who enter. You must remain true to yourself, for only a pure heart can navigate its secrets." The next morning, Prince Alaric set out on his quest. He was accompanied by his loyal horse, Storm, and a small group of trusted companions. They rode for hours until they reached the edge of the Whispering Woods. The forest loomed before them, its trees tall and ancient, their leaves rustling softly as if whispering to one another. As they entered the forest, the sunlight quickly faded, replaced by a dim, green glow. The trees seemed to close in around them, and the path became narrow and winding. The air was thick with the scent of moss and earth, and strange, soft voices seemed to echo from all directions. Alaric and his companions pressed on, following the map's directions. But the deeper they went, the more the forest seemed to confuse and mislead them. Paths that once were clear became tangled and overgrown, and landmarks seemed to shift and change when they looked away. After hours of wandering, Alaric's companions began to grow anxious. "Your Highness," one of them said, "we should turn back. This forest is bewitched, and it seeks to trap us." But Alaric shook his head. "I cannot turn back now. The crown is near, I can feel it. But I will not force anyone to continue. Those who wish to return may do so." Reluctantly, most of the companions chose to leave, their hearts heavy with fear. Only one remained, a young girl named Alara, who was the daughter of the royal gardener. She had grown up in the forest surrounding the kingdom and had a special way with plants and animals. "I will stay with you, my prince," Alara said. "I believe the forest is not as dangerous as it seems. We just need to listen." Alaric nodded, grateful for her company. Together, they ventured further into the woods, now guided by Alara's intuition. She would often pause, place her hand on a tree, and listen to the whispers of the forest. The trees seemed to recognize her, parting slightly to reveal hidden paths or giving her gentle nudges in the right direction. As they journeyed deeper, the forest's whispers became clearer. They spoke of trials that tested one's heart, of illusions that preyed on doubt and fear. But they also spoke of the crown and how it would reveal itself only to those who were worthy. At last, they reached a clearing bathed in soft, golden light. In the center stood a large, ancient oak tree with roots that seemed to reach deep into the earth and branches that stretched towards the sky. At the base of the tree, nestled among the roots, was a small, stone pedestal. On it lay the lost crown of the first king. The crown was beautiful, made of gold and adorned with jewels that sparkled in the light. But as Alaric approached, the whispers grew louder, almost as if the forest itself was warning him. "You must not take the crown," Alara said softly, her eyes wide with realization. "This is a test, Alaric. The forest is testing your heart. If you take the crown for power or greed, we will be lost." Alaric hesitated, the weight of her words sinking in. He realized that the crown was not just a treasure but a burden of great responsibility. He thought of his kingdom, his people, and his father's warning. Alaric knew that his desire to find the crown had been driven by a sense of duty, but also by a yearning to prove himself. Finally, he stepped back from the pedestal. "The crown belongs here, in the forest, where it has been kept safe for generations. I do not need it to be a good ruler. I need only to serve my people with honesty, courage, and love." As soon as he spoke these words, the forest seemed to sigh in relief. The golden light intensified, and the ancient oak tree began to glow. The whispers turned to a melody, a song of praise for Alaric's wisdom and humility. Then, to his surprise, the crown lifted from the pedestal and floated towards him, resting gently on his head. But it was no longer the heavy, jewel-encrusted crown. It was now a simple circlet of oak leaves, woven with strands of gold. "You have passed the test, Prince Alaric," the forest whispered. "You have proven that you are worthy of the crown, not because of your power, but because of your heart. This crown will guide you in your rule, reminding you always of the strength that lies in humility and love." With that, the light faded, and the clearing returned to its natural state. The path back to the kingdom was now clear, as if the forest itself was guiding them home. When Alaric and Alara returned to the village, they were met with cheers and applause. The villagers had feared the worst, but seeing the simple crown of oak leaves on Alaric's head, they knew that he had succeeded in a way no one had expected. King Eldred embraced his son, pride shining in his eyes. "You have proven yourself to be a true leader, my son. The forest has chosen well." From that day on, Alaric ruled the kingdom with wisdom and compassion. The crown of oak leaves remained with him, a symbol of the lesson he had learned in the Whispering Woods. And whenever he faced a difficult decision, he would touch the crown and remember the whispers of the forest, guiding him to choose the path of love and humility. As for Alara, she became one of Alaric's closest advisors, respected for her deep connection with nature and her unwavering courage. Together, they led the kingdom into a time of great peace and prosperity, always mindful of the delicate balance between power and humility. And so, the story of the Whispering Woods and the Lost Crown was passed down through generations. A reminder that true leadership comes not from might, but from the heart. The end.